Holy macaroni, ladies and gentlemen, we are in for what I like to call a big beef for this time because we're finally here. We're at chapter 21. It's time to take on Bern, and they are throwing everything plus the kitchen sink at us. And joining me today, we have Aquamage.
Hola!
We have Chris Digital Dreams.
Hello, it's me again.
We have J-Del's Free.
Heyo.
We have Mr. Bloodborne himself, Lucina21.
How you guys doing today? Glad to be here.
And we have Master Lord Aaron with us.
Yeah, I kind of died for a couple. I'm sorry.
Don't worry, we had the Bifrost stuff.
Hey, they buffed Mars. I had to test that out.
Yeah, so here's the map, everybody. It's a big one. There's a lot of enemies, and oh my god, like, this chapter literally throws everything at you because they throw in a shit ton of enemies and they respawn, and they do the thing which I love fighting games do that Conquest does and What's-Its-Face, Free Houses does, where you're on equal terms in terms of fighting strength.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely a blessing.
An interesting.
Well,
fun
everybody's
fact-
on equal terms except for Roy.
Very true.
Yeah.
I feel like that's implied, but...
Yeah.
An
That'd
interesting
be
fun
story.
fact about
That'd be
this
story.
chapter is that the reinforcements aren't turn-based; they're actually
Proximity?
location-based.
Yeah,
They're-
okay.
So basically, I don't know if you split up, but there's a little. But if you
I hope you did.
if you take everyone to the around the top and down, you can avoid the thing that spawns all the bulky paladins.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is why the chapter is an hour and 8 minutes.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
like,
Oh yeah,
I
you
like
split up.
that.
Okay.
the farther you go, the more they come out. It's not
Yeah.
just,
This-
here's your turn, and you get ambushed.
Yeah.
Fuck you,
Yeah.
middle finger.
Which, to be
Yeah,
fair, when it
yeah.
comes to ambush spawn, I prefer proximity over just turn-based.
I think it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Also, quick,
Even
quick
realistic,
question.
it's like, oh, so they're getting closer. Get them.
Yeah, now.
Which of your two split paths did you?
Oh,
which
yes,
team
yes.
did
So,
you take?
so basically, in this one, because we get Maltet, I took Sakei, and the reason being, I think I had more resources in Sakei in terms of items, and also, overall, the team was better. Not everyone, like, this is actually the path where Wendy's worse, but Ogia was better, Shin was better, Gonzalez was way better, so I was like, you know what, it's 3 versus 1 type deal, so I went with the Sakei route one.
Is this the chapter where we finally got a promotion for Roy?
No, that's actually the next
No.
one, because if you want to get the full ending, you need all
end
the...
of the next one.
Yeah, if you want to get the full
Yeah.
ending, you need to beat.
Yeah,
you need to beat
you
the.
need to
I think
follow
this one is 30 turns, not 25, which you've got to clear the map, which is plenty of time. But yeah, and then you get the Apocalypse Home after that, which is the last legendary item you get.
And then you,
Poor Roy,
reason.
always getting the short
no
end
reason.
of the stick.
Very
for no reason.
yeah.
Hey,
I never understood that.
If that end
Remake
is
better.
called Binding Blade, then I don't think it's that bad of an end.
I mean, he gets one of the best fucking swords. I guess it's not so bad, but still. Come
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so this is the
Win
chat.
some, you win some.
Yeah, so I got Maltet here, and you also get Yoda. Yoda's actually a pretty good staff bot, and you can have decent damage too. But I mainly use him for staff utility. And another thing about this chapter, you get to deploy 18 units, so bring everybody and just go fucking, absolutely
Go insane.
Yeah, go
They're
insane.
gonna throw everything at you. You do the same thing.
Pretty
Yeah,
much.
Shana here. Everything dies.
Yeah, so, and because of that, I brought back, Lance is back, and Ray's back in this one, and I've also decided to deploy Nimi as my for staff utility. And also, this is the map, because, there's no more split routes, there's no more thingamajig, I was like, okay, time to, I'm just gonna, stat boost for everyone, stat boost for everyone!
You get a stat boost, you get a stat boost, everybody get a stat boost!
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't think
May
I've
as
ever
well.
used Ogier in any FE6 run I've done, so this is interesting.
So you see, yeah, that's the thing about Ogia. Ogia's not even that bad of a unit, but it's a case of here's the thing, I don't see anyone use him even as a
He's-
joke. No one uses him.
I've used him. I use him out of curiosity. He just suffers from deeks.
Yeah, not being deep.
What
That's
he gets.
literally his biggest flaw. You're not
If you
deep.
actually use him though, it's like he's not that bad.
He's essentially,
Done.
you know what he is? Because I've said this before. He's essentially a sword master in terms of build.
He's a deek with speed.
Yeah.
My God, he's 30%.
So yeah, so what I do is when I do this chapter, I do the other route of splitting the army up so I can take on literally everybody. But because of that, you have to face more reinforcements. The ideal method is to go to the right because that's the quickest way. But if you do, I'll just tell you right now, if you go to the right, it's nothing but Wyverns. So because of that, bring units who can deal with them. A good bow unit, a good magic user, other Wyverns, guns, a good axe user, and all that jazz.
Yeah, and then the bottom is nothing but paladins and wyverns.
Yeah.
Hey, pick your poison, horses or dragons.
And yeah, in this chapter there will be respawning units. There's also going to be Gale's going to spawn and so on. It's not a hard chapter. It's just a massive endurance round. A lot of people compare it to Cog of Destiny, and it's funny I say that because the map actually does take place literally northwest of where Cog of Destiny took place in FE7, and I love that attention to detail that both games share. It's kind of, in hindsight, it's something I wish Free Houses did, because the Free Houses loves to reuse maps. I really wish they would have done a thing where if you did reuse a map in certain cases, for example, the chapter where you fight Solon and Kronya, you also do the exact same chapter when you're Hubert's Paralog. It would have been nice if maybe, like, the Paralog took place maybe slightly more to maybe the left or the south, but you could see, like, the original arena up in the distance.
Yeah, I completely agree.
And it's also the same map as Caspar and Mercedes.
It is,
Paralog,
yes,
I think.
that one too.
Yeah,
I
I completely agree with that because one of my biggest issues with Three Houses is the fact that they reuse so many maps.
Yeah, it's not even like one or two. They reuse a lot.
I never cared because I look at Rev and shit, and it's like the same thing.
Re-
I guess because my thing with it is just that you can reuse maps and that's fine. I guess it's probably just because the story's more different. I don't really mind so much. It's not like it's totally retreading City. That's my take. Like, I'm not that huge on map design, just the map be annoying.
I can understand. I think, well, my thing with Free Houses is that it does it rather frequently. Like, Revelations did it too, don't get me wrong, but Free Houses does it a lot.
Yeah, it does, but it's like it's like Three Houses is just a way fucking better game.
Oh yeah, it's a better game, but it's still, for me, it still doesn't excuse, you know.
Three Houses is the best game in the series, but it does, in my opinion.
Well, yeah.
However, it does. Reusing maps is definitely one of its
weaker
flaws.
areas. Yeah.
I just don't think it's as big as a flaw as people think it is. Like, reusing assets isn't exactly like, you know, it's like people say, "Oh, you're using maps. The game's rushed." No, it doesn't necessarily mean that.
Interesting move, using a speed wing on a hard mode Percival.
Yeah, well, again, he could use it. He could, yeah, why not? But yeah, like,
Fuck it.
Like, I mean, reusing assets, I mean, Fire Emblem does it quite a bit. I think it's the frequency of how they did it in Free Houses. And to be fair, as great as Free Houses is, there are elements you can tell it is rushed, but not in an obvious way. If you look closer, you can feel that it's rushed. If you want the biggest example, just look at Crimson Flower.
It's rushed in a good way. Like, it's not rushed in like this shit way where the game doesn't work.
Like Sonic 06.
Then I have a problem with Three Houses.
Oh boy.
Three Houses actually rushes, you know, good.
I feel like the fact that it was rushed is just a natural consequence, because if they delayed it again, then hype for it would be even lower, and then the game would not have been as well received as it was.
They're in a pretty shit. They're in a shit spot.
It's a give and take.
Mm-hmm.
That's just a gaming. That's just a gaming thing.
Two things.
As much as I love Free Houses, I will admit it has a few flaws, like you guys said, rushed.
Well, yeah, again, you can love a game, but Free Houses is far from perfect.
Exactly.
No FE game's perfect.
No video game is perfect.
But if we're looking at Three Houses compared to most FEs, there's so little wrong with it, honestly. Yeah, there's still something wrong with it.
Yeah, again, but most of the stuff is most of it's minor. It does everything it needs to do. It's just most of it's minor. Maybe it doesn't excel as certain other FE games do in certain departments. Obviously, like map design wise, it's not as strong as say Conquest and stuff like that, and it definitely not is. Graphically, it's pretty weak. But again,
at least it's not the blank texture of rocks from Fire Emblem Warriors.
Oh,
if anybody remembers that joke.
That's just Koei. That's just Koei Tecmo being Koei Tecmo.
Yeah.
That's why the game's That's why the game's so graphically weak.
Okay, first off, that isn't in your RNGBS counter, but that still would annoy me because getting hit by anything, taking hits by these Wyvern Lords, they hurt. But here's the thing. So this is actually a commentary bring back to a point you said earlier, comparing this to Cog of Destiny. The funny thing is, I feel like this map does that sort of thing. Everything you could possibly do right, it does it right, whereas Cog of Destiny does so much wrong.
Well,
it's actually one of my favorite levels, because the issue with Cog of Destiny is the fact that majority of the enemies, it's even because here it's a cataclysmic battle. It makes sense that it's all this stuff is
so intense.
Happening,
yeah, so intense.
It's not as much. I feel like in Cog of Destiny, you have to deal with, because here you're not dealing with status spam. You're not dealing with Luna Druids who can instantly kill any of your unit at any time.
Yeah, that's the massive irony. It's like this game, which is known for its like staff and siege spam, doesn't do it in this chapter, but FE7 does. That is the hugest irony.
So this is
even a map.
Oh god.
This is my second favorite level behind Chapter 13.
Chapter 13 is my favorite.
Thinking about
This
it?
is why I wanted to come. This is why I wanted to be here for this.
Thinking about it, this is probably my favorite map in the whole game. Now I think about it. Because of how epic it is.
It is epic, and again, I do love the epic factor.
It throws a lot at you, but
It's manageable.
bullshit,
It is manageable.
You know?
Yeah, it's definitely manageable.
It's not like what was that one map called? It's not like that. Where it just wears you fucking down. It's just you gotta be careful. You gotta be smart.
I feel like for me, this is one of the few cases where the game throwing a shit ton of enemies at you isn't a bad thing.
Well, because it's right at the end, you're more than prepared for this. It's not like Chapter 7.
It handles it well.
Yeah, it's not Chapter 7.
You have legendary weapons, so I feel like if you didn't have the legendary weapons, this map would be a lot worse.
I didn't use them, but you don't need the legendary weapons, but they help. But for the love of God, ladies and gentlemen, for the love of God, stock up on silver weapons as much and like rank and things as much as you can, because if you go into this fight with like, oh, I'm going to use an iron sword and iron lance, literally just get out. Don't hold back.
Get out. Okay, what Bird just said to the stage.
Yep. Furler just said get out. So basically, if you move units right below those. So basically, see where Ogier is?
Yeah, right below those
what
trees.
Triggers the paladins. That's what triggers the paladins.
I
But
remember that.
but this just makes this very entertaining for us. So I'm actually kind of glad you could show off how much this chapter can throw you. There they are.
See,
They come.
yeah, the LTC way, or the proper way, is to go for the right, but we're doing this the Wendy way. Everyone dies.
LTC way.
Every last one of them!
It's the one
LTC way. Fuck it.
No, do you know what this is though? This entire journey is like, is this a journey for Void to become?
Wendy.
Yeah, is this a journey for Void to become like the new to save the thing from Sephiel and become like a bridge for the dragons and the humans? No, Wendy wants her seat back.
Yeah, I would like to point out Wendy had no weapon triangle advantage there, and that armor had 7 hit on her.
I think you know what it is. I think the reason this Wendy's thing is because she's got 2 support bonuses from Ogia and Alina, and because of that, because the one thing some people kind of forget is that supports actually do increase stats.
Oh yeah,
they do.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell like Lance and Alan are probably the biggest example. Like if you pair them up, you'll see like Lance's strength go up.
Yeah,
like
one other example, which a lot of people do notice, is Coleman Namie, because they support really early, really quickly. Namie gets like an early crit boost.
Oh yeah,
Damn.
she does. Or in Lena too, actually, because
you can do 3 damage instead of 1.
Yeah, it's better than nothing.
I'll take anything I can get.
Yeah. So yeah, Lance is back, and what's funny, even after I haven't used him since Chapter 16, he's still doubling people.
That's Lance's job. Be the best one.
Yeah, very, very
That's
true.
probably the best. That's the best part, especially coming from Sakai. These Wyverns, I think, are amazingly designed because it's not being surrounded by a bunch of dodgy, fast as hell nomad troopers. They hit super hard. They're bulky, but you have so they're dangerous on enemy phase, but you have resources on player phase to deal with them.
Yeah, again, there is many ways to deal with Wyverns, but this game throws a lot at you, and that's the key thing that Lucine said. These Wyverns are bulky. They have got like nearly maxed out HP, especially the Wyvern Lord specifically.
And there's this asshole over here. Hey, here you go, buddy. Give me a pat in the back.
But also, in this chapter, this is also a good chapter, like, it's not the last one with resources, but it is a good area to stock up, because there's some stuff at the beginning, and there's a secret shop. So, you know, if you have the members card and the silvers card, go nuts.
Wendy's about to convert this bishop to the Church of Wendy.
Yeah. the church of shit units.
That sounds like a subreddit.
The Church of Sharamule. God damn it.
That's Lewis's subreddit, the Church of Wendy.
Oh, God. Can you make one now, please?
Yeah, you know what, at this point, I don't know what else I have left to prove. I made way good on Fire Emblem Binding Blade hard mode. What more do you want from me, fanbase?
True.
When you solo for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
I personally for my GBAFE, I personally subscribe to the Church of Milady. However, Percival is also like one of the most. I think I think one of the best Percival comparisons is Xander. Xander's slightly more oppressive, but they're very similar in terms of the fact that just because he doesn't have the limitless 1-2 range PRF sword. Yeah,
I even made the comparison between their character designs and stuff like that. But yeah, well, again, if you saw that level up I got as a thing. That's just typical Binding Blade for you, ladies and gentlemen. That's typical Binding Blade. That's all it is. Plus 1 HP.
Percival's face.
Honestly, I wish I had gotten more.
Like, oh.
I really wish I had gotten more +1 HPs whenever I was playing through this game the first time, because, like, my Shanna the first time around didn't get a point of HP until she promoted. With I think a 45% growth, which I called bullshit on.
Yeah, but where did the level ups go to then instead?
I think luck.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say if you got strength instead, consider yourself blessed.
Yeah, I'll pass you. I'll patch you up.
Yeah, look, this Wyvern Lord has more HP than Milady.
Yeah.
And he's one of many.
In the draft I did of this game with Lucina, my Shauna without any boosters ended up with 18 strength.
18 strength.
What, without any boosters? Holy shit.
Yeah.
Damn. That's impressive.
Yeah, that was the first time I ever played hard mode was in a draft.
Yeah.
And a couple highlights from that were so in this chapter I had just beaten it and
god, paladins everywhere.
Murdoch just got down to 2 HP, and Roy did 3 damage with the rapier. It was 50% chance of hitting, or Roy died, and I said, screw it. It was the dumbest thing I've ever done. I went for it, and Roy killed Murdoch.
Oh, nice.
And this isn't even a good Roy. This is like a Roy that was level 20 and had 9 strength.
Yeah. Also, Jay, I can't remember if this was you, but aren't you the one who trained, who got Juno's weapon rank high enough so she could use an armor slayer to fight Murdoch?
As I said, if it's ever a question like that, the answer is yes.
Okay. Wait, to be fair, you also did the Laura thing where you can do 1 damage to the Ginsia.
Yeah, the frustrating thing with Juno is it would have been a lot easier if she had the sword rank to use an armor slayer, which she doesn't, so I had to...
grind that.
I had to rely on Axe Reaver. No, I didn't grind that. That
right.
would have been awful.
Oh, man. Yeah, because again, it starts at E rank. That's... Oh, God. I hate when a promoted unit has an E rank weapon thing.
It also really helps because I made use of the triangle attack, so it was an automatic crit.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Juno still kind of fucking sucks, though.
The other 2 highlights from your run, Jay, were... Bless Cecilia.
Yeah.
Oh, this poor Wyvern!
Yeah.
Honey! Just...
Oh my god, Wyvern!
Honey!
Yeah, for good cause. Wendy
Oh.
Why did the scouring happen and the dragons got annihilated? Wendy's like,
Wendy.
Oh, no.
I said Wendy.
I pity you.
Says with the wyvern bodies in the back.
Yeah, she's just sitting on a throne of wyverns.
Yeah. I look at these wyverns. They don't even look like wyverns. They look like lizards I'd find outside. Like, more look at their fate.
Well, I'm doing the exact same damage with a hand axe as he's doing with a silver lance. Because fuck and you.
Poor motherfucker.
We have an army. We have a Wendy and Percival.
That's all you need.
It's like you had me at Wendy. I mean, to be fair, like, Wendy's not the only... No, if you want to see power in this episode, wait till you see Lelina with an air caliber.
oh boy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
The enemy maze will not be on the map. And they just take them out, like, yeah.
Ow.
Yeah, because, well, this is a high-risk, high-reward thing, because, again, the one thing about Binding Blade is, though the magic... Alright, the non-promoted magic units in Binding Blade are not that good, but magic itself is really useful in this game.
I imagine so.
Well, it's because the enemies have, like... Well, for one thing, it actually has some of the highest hit rates, which, in this game, you fucking need. My god. But also, it's, most enemies in this game don't have a res stat. They, honest to god, don't have a res stat.
FE1 resistance.
Yeah, I can see why.
Yeah, so magic is like, again, it's one of those things where it's super, super, super useful. You just got to really know, like, make sure you've got some damn good magic units. You can either train up Wendy and, sorry, not Wendy, train up Lelina and that lot, or just wait for Cecilia and Nimi.
On Wendy, was that B or A rank axes out of curiosity?
I think she's at B. I don't remember if she makes it to A, because I don't remember her using a silver axe, which is a shame, because, again, oh my god, if I could give Wendy a fucking silver axe.
I was
Armad Wendy, let's go.
That's what I was curious about. I was curious to see if you went for Armad Wendy with how much hand axe spam you use, so...
Yeah, unfortunately,
Lucina had Armad's Douglas in his run, so...
Yeah, no, that... Okay, it's funny because it was the first time I ever had Douglas kill... My meme kill was Douglas on Zephiel. Jay's was Cecilia on Zephiel, and Cecilia got revenge. That's the best part of the run.
The joke I made from that was revenge is a dish best served hot because she kills
4-blaze. Yeah. I mean, we all know what my meme thing is. It's like, Wendy killed Zephiel. Yeah, I'm gonna do it again. Spoilers, by the way.
think my meme thing was.
Let's do it again.
I think mine was had an actual good wolf for once in my life.
What?
Bruh.
I think that together.
Okay,
That
that's
entire
bullshit.
turn was bullshit.
Echoes, is that you? Python?
What are those?
Bruh.
Yep.
Bullshit.
And remember, Jay, this is the Wendy that's worse. The other
What
Wendy
are
already
those
hit the caps.
Yeah, the other Wendy got capped her strength.
He's kind of looking like my Wendy when I first used her. Jesus Christ.
Well, you actually used Wendy?
Yeah, I got curious.
Okay. Honey. Honey. I'm sorry. When I look at these, like...
Yeah, I kind of gave her the boots too. I don't regret it. Not one bit.
I do it because again I'm an armor unit main. I always do that with my armor units. Give them the boots.
It was so fun.
Well, the only one where I'm not too fussed about boots is Fates in the Awakening because you only get +1.
Yeah, you get +1.
Yeah.
It's
Nasty
funny
shoes.
because my standard boot technique is quite simple. Is it a player phase game where the dancer or is the dancer S tier anyway? Yes. Boots likely go on the dancer.
I mean,
But
I do.
There's exceptions though. But because, for example, having a more move on Azura is so nice. And
Oh yeah, I do that. I do more movement Azura and more movement Herons as well. Especially because the Herons can make up to multiple people move.
Yeah.
Celerity Raphael is a ride.
Yeah. And then the thing about the boots and Fates is that you need to kill off a really cool unit in order to get the boots.
Yeah, that'll get battle bonuses, but yeah.
And yeah, like in getting up to, I think it's 7,000 battle points in your My Castle to get boots.
Yeah, I mean, I've done it, but I've done it, but that's over the course of like 4 years.
Jesus.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I feel sorry for those enemies, honestly.
Zapdos.
True, but...
Yeah. What
They
is this? The
invaded
scouting
first.
report said that generals...
They invaded first. Like,
What
come
is
on,
this?
bro. That's like saying you feel bad for. It's like saying you feel bad for Shido.
So
Hey,
badly.
we got the assault charge first. Shido dies.
Yeah. It's like...
Oh, and again,
Honestly, Clarine with...
Wait,
Clarine
that's
with
what
13
Oh, God!
Yeah.
What is that Clarine?
Clarine with 13 magic is honestly the norm.
is it? But is it? All right.
Yeah,
Maybe
it's
at
so
this stage
low.
I can understand because early on my Clarine was actually getting more magic level ups than she should.
It's so fucking low for no reason. I don't know.
Yeah, it's 20%. I really don't get that.
20 plus 30.
Yeah, it's the same thing with
I think
Shauna.
it's 30, but yeah, it's not.
Yeah, it's 30. She has like Shauna's strength growth.
Yeah. Well, Shauna's at least a
Then-
Pegasus Knight. You know, you expect it to be more speed and like thing focused, but you know, Clarine's a freaking troubadour.
Best
Yeah, but
girl
then
getting
Shauna gets
those-
more strength than Clarine. There's a problem here.
I
Very big problem.
love Milady crits. Milady crits are so satisfying.
Well-
Well, it's funny because
That's
when
not the
I
lady.
You just
Oh,
love
wait,
the
ow.
lady.
well, duh, but
Bruh.
but she does to this game what Xander does to Conquest, and what Ryoma does to.
No. Better comparison. She does to this game. No, she does to this game what Camilla does to Conquest.
Delete.
Yeah,
Tears
exactly.
a new asshole.
True.
Yeah, very, very much so.
I want like a. Well, like Xander's like crit fucking animation, but we put the red eye on him, like when he's woke. I feel right where I want you.
Yeah.
Ow.
There's probably a mod for that somewhere.
I'll find it.
Knowing the
I will use
Fates community.
it. I will use.
No, but the thing with the Fates community is like we mod Farm the Fates. What, do you add new chapter stuff? No, we just change the goddamn story. Because it's awful.
I wrote the story.
I
and
actually
somehow
know
made it-
there's a Discord server that I'm in that's doing that.
Yeah. But you were saying, Chris?
The funny thing about that is that there's actually a Discord server that I'm in that is trying to do that. Like, they're modding Fates, specifically Revelation, to give it, like, a complete overhaul.
Okay.
It's been... I think that the first patch came out, like, sometime earlier this month. I haven't really been keeping up to date with it. But, yeah, it's actually a thing that's happening.
Okay, well, yeah, it's understandable because because of how bad Fate's story was, despite such an interesting concept, there's a shit ton of fanfics out there. I mean, again, I threw my hat into the ring, and I actually am it was quite humbling to hear so many people say, I've written a fanfic based on that video. It's like, oh, thank you.
Well, you know, you could be one of those weird people who actually like the story and get shit for it. I'm not naming names.
Yeah.
Not
Well, I
gonna
mean,
name names.
I like certain elements of Fate's story, that's why I did How to Improve. Because again, if something was so bad, I wouldn't bother with How to Improve it. I like elements of Fate's story. Again, I still think it has the best premise of any Fire Emblem game.
I mean,
And also it has some pretty good characters, too.
Oh yeah, I do like Fate's cast more so than
Royals.
Norian's.
Royals are amazing.
Yeah, Fates hasn't.
Yeah.
Fates' cast is still kind of underrated.
Honestly, the cast could be just the Royals and no one else, and I would still enjoy the cast.
Yeah, probably because it's probably because
the cast of Fire Emblem Fates is very valid.
Probably because they're in Fates.
Unless your personality is just pickles.
Yeah.
Honestly, for Fates, cut out all the children characters, and you basically fixed a lot of the cast.
Well, some children are really nice. I like Midori.
I think with children that they're optional, so I don't really.
Yeah, they're not. Well, they're also really poorly implemented mechanic.
For me, it's the concept of bringing children into Fates that bothers me, because it's pretty clear that they were catering to Awakened.
I could get that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, basically
But
fan
my thing is, like, if they're optional, I don't really care.
Yeah,
that's what it's worth, I think Heirs of Fate actually did a really cool thing with them.
Yeah, I've heard that Heirs of Fate actually made them much more interesting and did them justice.
I really did like that DLC.
I definitely like Heirs of Fate better than, I can't remember what it was called, but the Children DLC for Awakening. I definitely liked Heirs of Fate better because it wasn't quite as overtly ridiculously hard as the Child DLC from Awakening.
Yeah, Heirs of Fate is pretty fair.
I mean, as Awakening,
nice and balanced.
Beginner, even I found the child unit idea pretty dumb.
Well, at least in Awakening they were better implemented into the story, because Lucina is a main character.
Yeah, that's true. I meant like in Fate.
Oh yeah, Fates. Yeah. You can tell it was forced.
In Fates, they were just there. Like it's not like Lucina had a major part in the story. Lucina had a major part in the story at least.
Yeah, she literally became the most her and Robin became the most popular Awakening characters. Sorry, Crom.
Yeah, sorry, Crom.
You got
That's the story of how Crom.
I feel bad for Crom.
That's the story of how Crom didn't get into Smash 4.
Rest in peace. And then people hated him for that upbeat combo, so they took it out.
Oh
yeah, that.
Poor Crom. At least he's an ultimate.
Very. Oh, I missed a fucking 88. Are you serious?
Come on.
Oh my god.
He's an ultimate. And he's very fucking good.
Yeah, well, again, I find it so funny in Ultimate. This is the one game where Marth's actually not that good. Because Marth is usually a top tier.
Oh, Marth's good. Like, he's at least high tier. It's just Lucina's.
Yeah, and Roy. Roy as well.
Melee Marth is ridiculous.
Yeah, Melee Marth is one of the best.
Yeah, they saw Melee Marth and like, let's not do that again.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I'm one of the people who is legitimately. Some people were mad that that Lucina was higher than Marth. I'm just sitting here. My name is Lucina. I'm just like I'm basking in the fact that.
By the way, yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're still on enemy phase.
Yeah.
This is Radiant Dawn bad.
Honestly, my thing.
I was just about to say the same thing.
Like,
part 4 of Radiant Dawn.
Oh god. I don't even mind Lucina's better. It's just. It's not that Lucina's better. It's just.
I think this. Wait. Is it you don't know why Lucina's better in terms of tier list?
Oh, I know. Oh, believe me, I know.
Yeah, I know as well. It's to do with the edge guarding thing.
It's the engine. The engine's really way better for her playstyle.
Yes.
Oh, dang, Lance.
But he's gonna.
Oh, that's a spicy level up.
That's a spicy. That is a spicy level up. But again, he's gonna fucking need it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's gonna need it. Or can die.
This is what I love about Fur. Because of her crit rate.
She misses and crits.
Yeah, because of her crit rate and speed. If she misses the first time, she'll crit the second time.
I like how it's the non-killer count, but she has the crit rate of someone else who would have a killer weapon.
Yeah, but that's the thing with her.
I didn't blade it in a nutshell.
Yeah, well, it could be worse. It could be Ruka, who's literally got 102.
They are killer weapons.
Ruka with max support and Wodao has easily 100 crit.
Just take Ruker's picture, put a Wudao over it. It's accurate.
Yeah.
They actually got Charlotte to have 100% crit in Fates.
Finally.
Nice.
Okay,
level
up.
Yeah.
It's funny because...
No, that's actually pretty... speed and skill, I'll take it. It's better than getting +1 HP.
I guess.
It could be worse. It could always be worse.
Yeah. Well, we all know what the worst is, a 0.
Okay, I want to say one thing that I really, really hope that they implement into future Fire Emblem games that was, specifically a Radiant Dawn thing, is that in Radiant Dawn, it is impossible to have a 0-up unless every single stat is capped, and I really, really like that idea, because every time I get a 0-up, it's just so frustrating, because it never goes anywhere if it's just a 0-up.
Yeah, it's a waste. It's an absolute waste.
I commend Radiant... Yeah, exactly. So I really like how Radiant Dawn implemented the whole you have to get at least one point up. Oh my!
Yeah, but here's the thing.
Level up.
Oh, what? No, here's the thing though. It's like all these moves get amazing lots. Yeah, because they haven't been used for God knows how long. They're gonna need it. Without it, they're not gonna survive.
If this wasn't pre-recorded, I'd be saying my presence gave Shauna that level up.
No, you did it in spirit while I was recording this.
Reset.
True. It's funny because one thing that I did was I had a Lilina on normal mode. I'm gonna do it again in hard mode. I'm gonna try. That was so blessed. I literally just threw her in a forest down here, gave her 4 Air Caliber tomes, and she literally just soloed this side of the map.
Nice. I mean, I
did that too.
I do love doing that.
Very satisfying.
Yeah, I love doing that. Again, one of my fondest memories is where I had Farja and Henry as a couple, paired them up. Farja was sorcerer, gave her Forged Nosferatu. I was like, go do your work, done.
These level ups, though.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
For a Nos and Awakening is just so...
Yeah, Nos and Awakening is
so
stupid.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because Magic and Awakening is busted, but outside of Robin, the first 2 mages you get actually have probably the 2 of the worst magic users.
Yeah, well, they're not bad, it's just, they're not Robin or Tharja or Henry. Or the children.
Well, Muriel just has no stats, and Henry does have some use for, even on Lunatic, he does some use for if you forge the Elwind.
Oh, you mean Rickon?
Pick up Rickon. Yeah. Yes, Rickon. Oh god, I'm getting everyone mixed up. But with Rickon, you can give him the forged Elwind for Chapter 7.
Okay.
Because there's all the dragons there.
Yeah, the Wyverns, and it actually is pretty damn useful.
I can't wait for Muriel and Rickon to come to Fire Emblem Heroes, and for both of them to be broken as hell and better than Henry and Tharja, because Fire Emblem Heroes hates good units.
That's definitely the trend, and then they'll add Marcus, and he'll be terrible.
Yeah, no, they'll probably be like, Marcus is a grand hero battle. Oh god, no.
They'll give him a Sapphire Lance.
That's what I was...
No, but
here's a shitty weapon.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Speaking of Fire Emblem Heroes, so yeah, at the time of this recording, the summer banner for Free Houses came out today, and needless to say, everyone was super hyped because it was Ingrid, Dorothea, Sylvain, and it was a duo of Byleth, female, and Rhea, plus Lawrence is a Tempest Trial unit, and I think pretty much everyone is happy.
I need Dorothea and Ingrid so badly. They both look amazing in the art.
I know, literally, because I woke up in the morning, checked my Discord, and then I got a Twitch message from Maggie, and then I was like checking, she's just like squealing about this, and I'm just going, ah!
Oh, I saw that on Twitter.
Yeah, because again, it's her waifu and my waifu in summer outfits. But most people are looking at the fact that they made Byleth like super, super, super sexy.
She was already super sexy.
No, but now they're really showing off. Because, again, I'm sorry, Free Houses, Free Houses, obviously, they toned down the fan service a lot from, Fates and all that jazz, but a lot of the women in that game are fucking stacked. I'm sorry, if you actually really look at Mercedes, she's got some massive titties. Well, big titties.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Not gonna lie, even I noticed that.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it is easy to notice. However, when you look at it's interesting to look at official arts versus because fans of course found the chest size modifier on all girls to create tier lists from breaking into the game's code, because of course the fans did that.
Yeah, of course.
So after learning about that, for example, it put Edelgard on the lower end, but in all of her official art, she's actually much higher up. So as a result, canonically, that may or may not be the best to figure out that sort of thing. However, most of the time, it lines up between fan art.
Yeah, but a lot of it.
It definitely shows that Byleth, Dorothea, and Manuela are fucking stacked.
No, do you want to know who's really stacked? Cordelia.
Here's
the thing.
I'm going to say this. When I look at Cornelia,
Cornelia.
I just think that she used some Garthan dark magic mumbo jumbo to give herself fake tits.
No, you know what she is? She probably, knowing her, because again, in the thing, she did create a cure for this pandemic, even though they endured it. She probably invented silicone.
Yeah, I'm just going to say that I wouldn't be surprised if she augmented her looks to like her.
Artificially manufactured titties, courtesy of Cornelia.
Yeah. No, but here's the thing that I'm dreading, because like we all know that at this point, when Fire Emblem Heroes puts women into the game, they usually do get a bust size increase. Case in point, Ursula and Brunia, like and stuff like that. So it's like, how do you make Cornelia even bigger?
To be fair to Brunia, they tend to be R being her official art.
There's always a way.
I'm not complaining about Brunia at all, mind you, but Ursula is very much very notable.
I mean, Ursula, you don't even know, honestly. Brunia, I mean, they're big in the official art. If you look
when
at it.
Sonya gets into Heroes, though, like I'm not talking. FE7 Sonya.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking that may top like Loki in terms of like the amount of inflation they're going to give her.
Do not mention Loki in my presence.
Loki.
All right, whatever you say, Odin's son.
There we go. That's fine.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to stop it here for now, but when we come back, we shall be finishing up this chapter. It's such a slog, but we'll get through it eventually. Seeing more level ups, we're going to take down the Wyvern generals and get ready to promote Roy, but then we've got one more stage left to do after that. But you know what? Considering how easy it is, they deserve a break after all that we've been through. Until then, thank you all very much for watching. We will see you next time. Take care, stay safe, and have a wonderful day.